LeBeau. Welcome back to the Fourth Revolution. We're talking about stocks for your portfolio of the future. This future economy, this future world that we're all looking forward to is more imminent than we would think. This fourth industrial revolution, like this whole show is centered around, is really coming to fruition with billionaires and their innovative ambitions driving these science fiction type ideas to life. And this is what's happening with the metaverse. It's probably a word that has been thrown around the ether for the last 6 months with Mark Zuckerberg, the CEO of Facebook, the largest social media company in the world, changing its name to Meta in the wake of all these regulatory concerns surrounding the emotional and mental safety of its users. Mark Zuckerberg decided to change the narrative with the metaverse, showing the company's dedication towards this new technology, which is effectively a world within a world. It's a virtual 3D rendered world that can be accessed through Facebook's Oculus VR, which it bought back in 2014. So it would seem that Facebook has been planning this metaverse transition for the last 8 years or so. So I think that this is a space that's just beginning to take off, and there are so many different players that are poised to benefit from this, that it's important to know what this metaverse is, what it stands for, and where the opportunity lies. So Facebook has 3.9 billion monthly users on all of its platforms. Facebook, which is now called Meta, formerly called Facebook, owns its namesake Facebook, as well as Instagram, WhatsApp app, which is the largest global messaging app in the world, along with Facebook Messenger. And these four applications, these four social interactive platforms are driving the world of social media. And when Zuckerberg decides to move everybody to the metaverse, he has that consumer base, the largest consumer base ostensibly in the world, with roughly 75% of the internet accessing world on one of his platforms every month. So let's dive into what metaverse actually means and where it came from. So metaverse was originally coined by Neil Stephenson back in 1992. And this was, way before any of these ideas even had the potential to come to fruition. But interesting fact is that Neil Stephenson has been an integral player in influencing some of our top tech magnates today, such as Bill Gates, Peter Thiel. And Peter Thiel is the guy who started Palantir, as well as been a key player in PayPal's beginnings, and John Merrimack, which is the guy who was on the ground floor of Oculus and is the CTO of the company ever since 2012 and has been a key part of its development, as well as Jeff Bezos, who actually hired on Stephenson back in the early 2000s for about 7 years to Blue Origin. And it's because of Stephenson's not only innovative thinking as far as ideas go, but his grounds in mathematics, cryptography, as well as a number of other engineering and scientific fields. As both of his parents were, he came from a family of engineers and scientists. So he has that background and that type of mindset that is forward thinking. So he's it's interesting. He was actually considered, Neil Stephenson that is, was considered the guy who kind of inspired cryptocurrency, and now he's inspiring this metaverse. And if you've seen movies like Ready Player One or Avatar, you kind of have an idea of what this metaverse would look like. And it's going to be a world that is virtually rendered, a 3D world where we can interact with each other without being next to each other. It's the future. It's kind of a scary future if you think about it, but there is opportunity here, and it's the younger generation that's really going to be driving this long run virtual opportunity in these in some well-positioned tech players for this fourth industrial revolution. Like I said, there's a new world that we're coming into, and it's heading at us fast. So it's time to jump into some of these metaverse names and take advantage of some of these nascent spaces. Microsoft just announced that it would be acquiring Activision Blizzard for $68.7 billion in Microsoft's largest acquisition on record if it were to go through. And this is in the wake of Activision Blizzard's recent, share price capitulation in the face of misconduct in the office place at Blizzard, which has been described as a quote-unquote frat boy culture that discriminates against women or females in the workplace. And that has caused a ton of turnover at Blizzard, which is ostensibly half of Activision Blizzard's company, and some key product delays, which allowed Microsoft to come in here and buy this thing up at a discount. It came down 50% off of these highs up here, nearly 50%, should I say. And today, with this new acquisition announcement, has just skyrocketed with the systemic issues within the company being wiped away by Microsoft's leading, management team, which people are expecting to drive this company into the metaverse, so to speak, and push the stock, both of their stocks, up, considerably. If you look at Microsoft, it's only down, about 70 basis points in the face of a market sell-off, and this is, in my mind, relative buoyancy with this announcement of the acquisition of Activision Blizzard being a catalyst to the upside. Everybody knows that Activision Blizzard is undervalued, but they're wondering if the systemic changes inside the company with the management team turnover would be able to push the stock back up to this $100 price level, which has been a price target as of late. And with this recent acquisition, it's only a matter of time before it hits $100 a share with Microsoft's proven team of management that has just driven decades and decades of cutting edge growth. And they are poised to be a key player in the metaverse as their video game portfolio nearly doubles. Microsoft is the company that creates the Xbox, but now they're going to have so much more to offer the metaverse with this most recent announced acquisition. This is CrowdStrike on TradingView.com, and you can see this stock is looking for a bottom. It is searching high and low for this bottom, with every day seeming to go lower and then just jump up past the previous day's highs, and that's what's happening today. But CrowdStrike, as it's concerning the metaverse, is really well positioned to be the cybersecurity company that secures this new virtual world, with AI and cloud-driven technology backing CrowdStrike's Falcon platform, which is the best-in-class, enterprise-level cybersecurity platform in this day and age. And it's really unmatchable in my mind. And in most people's perspective, CrowdStrike is the best position for cybersecurity, which is going nowhere soon. Cyber threats is what Jerome Powell is calling the biggest threat to the U.S. economy, and it is the biggest threat to the metaverse. And like I said, this stock is poised to be a leader in that pioneering universe of security, because they're going to need security in this new virtual world that's coming to light today. This is Snap on TradingView.com. You can see you've had a roller coaster of a run since the pandemic lows. Coming out of these pandemic lows, just booming as the interaction between younger generations on this platform takes off. Unfortunately, this was just a pandemic boost. It came up more than 10x, like I said, coming from these lows of about roughly $8 a share to north of $80 a share. But we have considerably capitulated from there. And this is due to, like I said, the nature of this platform, which is driven by Gen Zs and younger generations, which don't have a lot of brand loyalty. They're going to be following whatever is the trendiest. Snapchat still has a place on the app board, but it's falling out of favor as people interact more and more in person. And in my opinion, the company's platform and its product offering and its long-term value offering actually are different. The company's long-term value to me come from its filters, its AR-driven filters, which are best in class and provide a huge opportunity for them outside of social media. They're going to be a player in this augmented reality world and a key player in the metaverse with their ability to interact with virtual and real world types of digital filtering. And like I said, this company is not priced for being a social media company. It's priced for its technology. And I see it being picked up in the future because of this technology by a larger company. Its market cap is quite a bit, lofty for an acquisition, around 60 billion. This thing comes down to roughly half of this, which is very likely moving forward here as this stock continues to fall out of favor with younger generations. I see this thing being bought up. I'm not a buyer today on this falling knife, but it's something to keep an eye on as the metaverse comes to fruition and to really see where Snap and its management team sees it in this next generation of digital interactions. Roblox, ticker RBLX. I would call this thing a buy today. And it was an immediate beneficiary of Zuckerberg's Metaverse announcement. We could see the stock taking off after its earnings, as well as after Zuckerberg, like I said, transitioned or rebranded Facebook into Meta. And it's obvious why, because Roblox provides this offering of creating a 3D rendered virtual world. The concern that a lot of people had, and the reason it traded sideways since its IPO back in March of 2021 until this announcement, was because of its very, very young average age. It says that about 2/3 of its users are 16 or under, and only about 14% of those are over the age of 25. But we are living in a world that is driven by the younger generation. And I see this younger cohort of customers as an opportunity. And obviously, with the metaverse coming to fruition, Roblox is perfectly positioned for this. And Cathie Wood, the golden standard for innovation, and her golden stock picks that blew up during 2020 and had a ripping rally out of the bottom as the fourth industrial revolution really shows its light. In Cathie Wood's portfolio, in her well-positioned stock, she has proven her ability to pick top picks for this next generation in the market disrupting spaces like the metaverse. And she has a huge bet on Roblox today. It has only been increasing as we have come down here. It's been a falling knife ever since the end of 2021. And it's time to pick this thing up. It looks like we're starting to see a bottom here at this key Fibonacci extension. When I'm talking about price start targets to the downside, right around $78 a share. We're trading about $80 a share. I think this is a perfect time to pick this stock up on a discount with long-term outlook looking stronger than ever. Remember, guys, these are next-gen companies that are very sensitive to the rising interest rates and are subject to volatility as we come into this monetary tightening period, as the Fed starts to not only taper back its asset purchases, but is planning on raising rates in March. So right now there's more than 4 rate hikes priced into 2022, which is causing this capitulation of these high growth names, which I see as an opportunity to buy for the long run. And our golden standard for growth and innovation, as far as stock picking goes, Cathie Wood's ARK Innovation ETF, she is buying this dip, and so am I. I am averaging lower as these stocks fall and stomaching some of this short-term volatility in order to, obtain my long-term return goals, which are, beating the market in the long run, which is going to happen if you have the best positioned tech companies that are poised to show secular growth, not cyclical growth like we're seeing for a lot of these value names, but secular, nonstop, consistent growth quarter over quarter, which is what these metaverse names are going to show. And their product offerings go way beyond the metaverse. For example, CrowdStrike is going to be the go-to cybersecurity platform for enterprises around the world, not just the metaverse companies. And you could say the same thing about Microsoft. That company is poised to be the leader in everything tech, as it was the largest company at the turn of the century. It became the largest company going into the roaring 20s. And that's a company that is a good buy and hold no matter where it's trading at, as its management team proves itself as leaders in Silicon Valley. So don't forget to check out Zacks.com/promo where we can get our latest promotion. And, thanks for watching, guys. Look forward to speaking to you guys next time.